The layoffs are here and developers are starting to lose their jobs because of AI. This is how you survive. Step 1. Before you do anything else, use a voice dictation tool. Download something like Whisperflow and start using it endlessly. Never type any of your code ever again. Never touch a keyboard ever again. Like, you're not supposed to do that anymore. We've ascended way the hell up from that. From now on, you're supposed to talk to your computer endlessly. So if you haven't already downloaded Whisperflow, go do that first and then move on to the next step. Then always ask the AI agent to write all of your code for you. Because it's 2026, and if you're still writing code by hand, you're either a technophobe who's gonna be left behind by all the new technology that's coming out, or a peasant who can't afford to pay for tokens. Like, I don't care that you only need to add 5 pixels of padding to your card components. I don't care that you can type that yourself in 5 seconds. You need to ask your AI agent to do it for you. You need to spend $10 in LLM API costs to do that, and make sure that you use voice dictation to do that. That was step 1, right? Download Whisperflow and use it for everything. Because in this golden age of AI, we don't write code anymore. We talk to the code, because the code is alive. It is conscious. It is AGI. We have artificial intelligence now. Also, this is another big thing. Automate everything. This is a word you should be using in your vocabulary 24/7. You should be saying the word automate 200 times every single day. Managers and CEOs love to hear the word automate, and they're going to love you if you're automating other people's work left and right. So here's an action step for you. Look at all the employees working right now in your office or team, right? Pick the one who's pissing you off the most, and just automate every single task that he does in his day-to-day job. Literally, open up Claude Code or Codex, explain every single task that employee does, and just ask your AI agent to automate it for you. Then go over to your boss's office, close the door behind you, sit down, and tell him you just automated Jeffrey. You know who's gonna get fired that day? Not you. So become the most AI native, pro AI, biggest AI power user person thing in your company. Now, I'm sure if you guys scroll Twitter like I do, you probably saw the Coinbase CEO tweet where he announced that he laid off 14%, I think, of his workforce, right? That's like, I don't know, 700 jobs or something. And that's not the crazy part. The crazy part was what the CEO said afterwards, and I quote, "Non-technical teams are now shipping production code." There is so much to unpack there that I don't even know where to begin. Like, there's just so much wrong with that statement. We're talking about a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ with over 110 million users, which is also the largest US-based cryptocurrency exchange there is, coincidentally. Like, this is a company that everyone and their AI agents, since that's what we're using all the time, would love to hack and steal from. A company that entire nation states are trying to hack and steal users' funds from. And against all these legions of cyber attackers and security professionals, we will send unto them vibe-coded slop from the sales and HR departments. The same people who, the moment some issue pops up in their OS, the only thing they can think to do is reinstall Windows. Like, I'm sure it's stuff like this that's keeping the Russian hackers up at night, right? And hey, if we're lucky, the hacks themselves will also be vibe-coded slop, so it just becomes a big competition of who gets dumber faster. Now look, I know that AI is just fancy autocomplete. You know that AI is just fancy autocomplete. But the normies don't know that AI is just fancy autocomplete. Especially the people who make hiring decisions. Especially the people who are managing your companies, and more importantly, managing your paychecks. So I recently made a video discussing token maxing and how companies are encouraging their employees to use more AI tools. Let's just put it that way. If you haven't seen that video yet, you should probably go watch it right now, because it really helps set the tone for this video and shows you just how obsessed these companies are with AI tools and LLMs, despite their many shortcomings. But in short, if you're not costing your company at least a couple $1,000s in API credits, you're probably doing it wrong, and your name is going to be top of the list when the company is deciding on their next layoffs. You should be shipping new features left and right. You should be building products constantly. You should be submitting PRs with tens of thousands of lines of code in changes. And if you think that's insane, no human being can actually review that much code. Well, I have news for you. We have AI code review tools now that can do it all for you. So just integrate one of them into your code base and call it a day. Besides, it doesn't really matter if you're shipping slop full of bugs and issues and vulnerabilities. Like, we've all seen the constant AWS and Cloudflare outages, right? Haven't we? Plus, isn't GitHub down like most of the time nowadays? I mean, clearly, you don't need to create functional software anymore. Like, you don't need to create software that does what it's supposed to do. You just need to keep shipping more and more code. At your next company meeting, you need to be able to have a big list of new features that you've created and shipped with AI. And also, I've heard a lot of you programmers talk about how, since AI is writing all of our code nowadays, the real bottleneck we have now is decision making, right? We want to be able to make decisions faster because we've got decision fatigue and everything. Well, I have a solution for that too. And here it is. You ready for this? You want to let the AI agent make the decisions for you. Whether it's choosing your tech stack, organizing your files, picking the design pattern to use, or the software architecture, or whatever it is, just let the agent handle it. Surrender yourself completely to the vibes. Because look, these are highly intelligent models, and they're only going to get smarter and smarter because AGI is just around the corner, or at least that's what Dario tells me. So go ahead and become the most AI pro, the most AI hyped person at your company. Start using words like autonomous agents, vector databases, embeddings, context window, prompt engineering, inference engineering, and yeah, AI multi-agent orchestration systems. I don't know. Start using words like these in your vocabulary every single day, especially when you're talking with your managers, who most of the time, let's just be honest, don't know the first thing about technology, especially this kind of technology. Because when they hear you using words like this, the last thing they're going to do is fire you. In fact, the only thing they want to do to you is give you a promotion, because they want someone like you on their team. They want someone who can put the rest of their company out of a job. So remember, from now on, AI is your bread and automation is your butter. Okay, but in all seriousness, I hope you can notice the sarcasm in this video. I am just so tired of the global pandemic of AI psychosis that all normies are in. No, there's no AGI around the corner. No, we haven't cracked the code to consciousness. No matter what Richard Dawkins and his AI pleasure bot, let's just say, has to say, it's just a fancy autocomplete. That's all it is. And look, I love LLMs just as much as the next guy. Like, I'm using them all the time, like not just in coding, but in so many other places in my work too. But it's just a tool, a non-deterministic, hallucinatory tool that makes up half of its answers as it goes along and needs constant babysitting so it doesn't break apart in the other half. And I'm tired of pretending it's anything more than that, because it's not. Thank you for watching.